Hello YouTube, I'm back again with another video. This is going to be a custom duel, but I'm going to be trying something different. I'm going to let the other users duke it out with each other because I definitely do want to take a break from my past duels, the opportunity to showcase their cards, to prove how capable they are of dueling, and to share your thoughts on other people rather than me. So just to let you know, just let you guys aware that there's more than just one person playing on Dueling Book, and that is willing to have their videos, have their duels posted on YouTube. But again, I made sure to ask these guys permission, and they had no issue with it. So, but judging from here, it looks like we're watching. This is gonna be a duel between demons, devils. Um, but I need to show you this face down code over here. This face down monster, although there's only one face down monster, but its effect overall is absolutely insane. It makes absolutely no sense how his effect works, because one thing I'm trying to understand, let me pause the video. Not only can it not be destroyed by battle, it's unaffected by other monster effects. So this is where he needs to be specific. Like, is it unaffected while face up on the field, or even while face down? This is the one thing that's very tricky, because he may argue the opponent, oh, he can't he can't target his face down monster with effect because it's unaffected. Because this is where you have to be specific, because it'll just be outright ridiculous. He targets the face down as unaffected without revealing the card. And on top of that, his flip effect has no cost, since you're banishing all cards on the field except this card. And it's all caps. Like, there definitely should be a cost if you're going to activate this effect. But it having the ability to be unaffected by monster effects is in itself a card that would definitely get banned, as well as its first effect. So that's what I want to try to bring up. I don't know if you guys think that I'm absolutely wrong otherwise, but I just want to point this out. If you're up against this kind of card, like, you can argue whether the opponent's cheating or not. If anything, you should just tell him to adjust the card and try to make some improvements, because this is a card that would never fit in the TCG, to be real. So the opponent summons Devil Minion Zyre and possibly uses effect. I assume to Synchro Summon with the tuner that's in his hand, so he's going for a level 6. Devil Minion activates effect, special summoning Fatigue from his grave. And I'm guessing Hypocrisy activates effect. Each player draws a card and discard one card. And just to let you guys know, in the future, is that not only will I be recording other people's customs, I'll also be doing like TCG duels, because I definitely need a break. To be real with you guys, I've been putting all my effort on my own, and there are times I want to give other players the opportunity to have their duels posted on YouTube, so they can get the glory that they want. Because I personally feel like they have no problem, since it's not their personal like identity. So it's just honestly just both players using their accounts just to have fun and communicate, where they feel they can actually still be in private. So, but rather than hear my mumbo jumbo, we're just gonna wait for the next summon. Most likely a new synchro summon. It's gonna be his level 10 synchro monster, Devil Mastermind Greedon. What I find very clever is that instead of his archetype is called Devlim. So the reason behind that, because he's playing archetype that involves around Devil minions and Devil Master. And the reason why he prefer to call them Devilim, so that whichever monster Devilim has, so anything at the last letter, anything that starts with the last letter M, and then continues like Devil Minion, Devil Mastermind. That way, the archetype has more synergy. He's ensuring that if the M at the end gives the archetype more synergy, if you decide to change the name from Devilim and then adjust it, and go and extend it from Devil Minion or to Devil Mastermind or to Devil Man or Devil Master, Devil Mon or Yep, you guys get the gist of it. So I don't want to explain too much, but he's gonna attack straight to his face down, and this is the effect that I'm talking about. Good thing Lucky smart enough that although he wouldn't have been aware, but smart that he only just summoned one monster for now, and then he will end up banished. But I'm not sure whether he has the opportunity of coming back. But looking at this duel, it's gonna be really lopsided. Good thing he made sure to keep his hand, and then he made, which is really funny. He managed to figure out his opponent. He managed to like, no, I don't think he predicted, but he realized if his opponent had a face down monster with an effect that utterly unreasonable, like abusable, he decided to take the opportunity to banish the spell card in his grave to retrieve his Great Arm from the bench into the field. And now he can be able to extend during his main phase too, although may have not been able to deal damage, but we're gonna wait on what his other combo is. What other strategy he might have. Whatever he has hiding in his sleeve to keep his opponent by surprise. So let us continue. It doesn't look like that Bandit Keith has much to do. It's mainly just heavily relying on his Dimension Demon. His Dimension Demon and just simply loads of spell trap cards was entirely too bad, but the one thing I'm trying to figure out what his main board is. Like, what would be his like go-to monster in order to help him be able to retaliate? Because it seems like although Bandit Keith has a monster that's unaffected by a card effects on top of being also not being able to destroy it in battle, it looks like looking at the opponent, looking at Austin Wolfbark, his monster can be affected by spell and traps. So in a way, Wolfbark has the advantage. Even though his monster is unaffected by monster effects that can't be destroyed by battle, he could pretty much turn this duel around, like you're gonna see right now. He's already summoning a bunch of monsters, so he left himself open. This is why in Yu-Gi-Oh! You should not have relied on one monster or one card. Because if your opponent has a card, because expecting one card to win you the duel is just completely impossible. That's like you're gambling hoping that you'll win this duel with just one card. But sometimes it takes more than just one card to win. You gotta fix your extra. He has no cards in his extra. You gotta figure where your go-to monsters. You gotta figure a way to retaliate. You need ways to eliminating your opponent's board so that you can have the chance to play your cards freely, like I said before in previous duels. But it looks like, I feel like even though his monster, he seems like his monster is an unbreakable wall, but the opponent, Austin, is aware of what he needs to do at this point. He realized since he can't use monster effects, he might as well either search his spell traps and find a way to get rid of Dimension Demon. Because I'll be able to be real with you guys, this archetype just seems like a complete sham and a waste of effort. He didn't really seem to put a lot of effort. And this is not me insulting the dude. I feel like personally he still needs to make some adjustments in order to actually be able to make an archetype that has synergy. It does not look like it has synergy whatsoever. Like, it's just relying on one monster, hoping to get rid of all the cards on his opponent's field and not have anything to do with summoning a strong monster. You need a really powerful monster on your field. You need to go into your powers because that monster can be able to make a huge difference in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because even though nothing wrong with relying on spell and trap cards, but there are times if you're gonna spell and trap cards, you need monsters that can also do the finishing blow. But just doesn't seem like right now there's not really much he can do at this point. So he's probably most likely gonna just stall Austin till he draws something, whether it's to play Mystic Mine, inflict damage to his opponent's life points, or whatever. Like if in this is deck, if he was to play Dimension Demon, if he was to play a deck based on his card, might as well play a Burn Mystic Mine deck along with those cards. because maybe that way it gives his opponent, it may not give his opponent time to kill him, but he'll have at least Bandit Keith will have time to stall until he's drawn to the cards. Not only slowly, but hopefully give him a chance to prevent him from actually hurting his field, getting rid of his life points until he decides to scoop, or unless he could deplete his life points right to 0. But like I said, his monsters he's already losing control of his duel. He thought he had the upper hand, but in reality he's just wasting his resources, so he's losing a lot of resources because the opponent is just managing to wither his board, put it into his hand, banish cards from the spell trap card zone. It just seems like he's really out of options, like I've been saying before. So let's fast forward here. He's gonna negate with Baron. Yeah, honestly, this actually should be game by now. He's not hesitating. He's just going in. So, and that's where he admitted defeat. Overall, honestly, like this dude is talking about is like basically, it's true though. The deck that Bandit playing is basically hoping that he'll get a free win. And I guarantee, I kind of figured how strategy works. He's hoping the opponent scoops, thinking like, if he can draw to a Mystic Mine or whatever card that can actually win, bust a card that can win the game, then that maybe that was the purpose of the deck. But really, it really serves no purpose because he's playing a monster that really absolutely just simply banishes all his cards, but has no effort in actually hurting the opponent's life points. Because you need, like I said, in Yu-Gi-Oh! Without an extra deck, how are you supposed to win? And I wish I had the chance to look at his main deck, because I'm trying to figure out what cards he's even playing. It just seems like a bunch of mishmash. While Austin Wolfbark, he already has the upper hand, like I said, even though it may seem Ben Keith had the advantage in having an unbreakable wall, but it just, he didn't have enough cards on the field to do it, to help accomplish what he's after in order to gain an easy victory. But like, let's be honest, getting a win is not that easy. You have to be able to put effort if you want to achieve victory. Let's be real, guys. But I personally believe that Austin Wolfbark earned it, and that he was able to make and implement something that is something innovative, that just doesn't rely on one monster. It just doesn't have an archetype, doesn't heavily rely on one monster that basically stalls the opponent, that doesn't really have its own theme, that has no synergy with cards, but just simply is just simply a freeloader that just simply stays there, remains there on the field, preventing your opponent from pretty much doing anything. Not only doing anything, but actually being able to attack you or deal damage. So he managed to put a stop to Bandit Keith's plan. It just wasn't really a good enough plan. It just was just one card that he was betting on. And Bandit Keith did just not have a strategy in mind to keep his field in check. And Austin Wolfbark managed to pull through and gain the victory, knowing that the only way that this archetype art can work and be able to earn him the match would just simply outright build cards that have synergy and that can play all around. And that's what he succeeded in doing, and for that I give him credit for it. So, and I give him my regards, and that hopefully in future duels I'll be able to showcase you more of other players facing off one another and letting you see their capabilities, so that you can have in mind that not everyone is playing at the same level, and that just imagine what kind of strategy some people can utilize on their own when you put the time and effort in trying to build something that you're passionate about. Yeah, I've been going on for too long, but again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to check for more upcoming content later in the future. Be sure to check your notifications, comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.